Hey there, Investing Iguanas. Iggy here, and today we're diving into the mysterious world of the Singapore dollar. The Monetary Authority of Singapore, or MAS, has been keeping a tight lid on some juicy information that could impact your investments. But don't worry, I've put on my detective hat and I'm ready to spill the beans. In this video, I'll be uncovering the secrets the MAS isn't telling you about the Singapore dollar's future. We'll explore how potential policy changes could shake up the currency's performance and what it means for you as an investor. So grab a notepad, because you won't want to miss a single detail. Let me elaborate on this fascinating topic. The Singapore dollar, the official currency of the city-state of Singapore, has been performing exceptionally well for the past 2 years. It has emerged as the undisputed leader among Asian currencies, outshining all its regional counterparts. This remarkable performance has not been a mere stroke of luck, but the result of strategic planning and effective policy implementation. The Monetary Authority of Singapore, MAS, the country's central bank and financial regulatory authority, has been the driving force behind the Singapore dollar's success. The MAS has a unique approach to monetary policy that sets it apart from most central banks worldwide. Instead of manipulating interest rates, a common tool used by central banks to control inflation and stabilize the economy, the MAS uses the exchange rate. The exchange rate is the value of the Singapore dollar relative to the currencies of Singapore's major trading partners. By allowing the Singapore dollar to appreciate, the MAS effectively increases the purchasing power of the currency. This means that Singaporeans can buy more foreign goods and services for the same amount of Singapore dollars, which helps to keep inflation in check. However, the world of finance is ever-changing, and change is inevitably on the horizon. While the Singapore dollar has been strong, it's important to remember that currency values are influenced by a multitude of factors, including economic performance, interest rates, inflation, and political stability. These factors can change rapidly, and the MAS will need to adapt its policies accordingly to ensure the continued strength of the Singapore dollar. Let's delve deeper into this, my fellow iguanas. Inflation, the rate at which the general level of prices for goods and services is rising, is beginning to show signs of slowing down. This is a significant development because inflation is a key factor that central banks consider when setting their monetary policies. When inflation slows, it often signals that the economy is performing well, and there may be less need for stringent monetary policies. This brings us to an intriguing juncture for the Singapore dollar. The Monetary Authority of Singapore, MAS, which has been using the exchange rate as its main policy tool, may need to reconsider its strategy. If inflation is indeed cooling off, the MAS might not need to keep allowing the Singapore dollar to appreciate. This could lead to a shift in policy. Rumors are circulating that the MAS might start easing its policy as early as April. If this happens, it could mean a change in the performance of the Singapore dollar. The currency, which has been the top-performing Asian currency for some time now, might see a change in its fortunes. It's akin to the end of an era. Now, don't get me wrong, the Singapore dollar is still a force to be reckoned with. It's just that its gains might start to lag behind its regional counterparts. This doesn't mean that the Singapore dollar is losing its strength, but rather, it's a reflection of the dynamic nature of the financial markets where different currencies can outperform others at different times. In fact, there has already been a slight shift in the Singapore dollar's performance this year. The local currency has depreciated by approximately 2% against the US dollar. While this might seem like a small percentage, it's significant in the world of finance. Currency values can fluctuate due to a variety of factors, including changes in interest rates, economic indicators, and geopolitical events, among others. This 2% depreciation is not a drastic drop, but it could be an early indication of a potential trend. It's like a subtle hint from the financial markets suggesting that the Singapore dollar's reign as the top-performing Asian currency might be nearing its end. However, it's crucial to remember that these are just possibilities and the actual outcome will depend on a multitude of factors. For you, my savvy investors, this evolving situation presents both challenges and opportunities. The key to navigating these changes is staying informed and being ready to adapt to the shifting financial landscape. One crucial piece of data to keep an eye on is inflation, especially the numbers for February. Inflation data provides valuable insights into the overall health of the economy and can influence central bank policies. If inflation continues to cool off, it could signal that the economy is stabilizing, which might prompt the Monetary Authority of Singapore, MAS, to ease its policy in April. This could potentially lead to a depreciation of the Singapore dollar, which would have implications for investors. For instance, if you have investments denominated in Singapore dollars, a depreciation of the currency could reduce the value of your investments when converted back to your home currency. However, as is always the case in the world of finance, there are no guarantees. Predicting the actions of central banks is a complex task that involves analyzing a multitude of factors. Some experts, such as those at DBS Bank, believe that the MAS might decide to maintain its current policy for a bit longer. They might be waiting for more data or for certain economic conditions to be met before they decide to change their policy. Indeed, the global financial stage is not just about individual countries or their currencies. It's a complex network where the actions of one player can have far-reaching effects on others. One such influential player is the Federal Reserve, the central bank of the United States. The Federal Reserve, often referred to as the Fed, plays a crucial role in the global economy. It sets monetary policy for the United States, which can have significant impacts on the global financial markets. The Fed's decisions, particularly those related to interest rates and monetary supply, can influence the value of the U.S. dollar. If the Fed decides to tighten its monetary policy, for example by raising interest rates, it could lead to a strengthening of the U.S. dollar. A stronger U.S. dollar means that you need more of other currencies to buy the same amount of U.S. dollars. This could put pressure on other currencies, including the Singapore dollar. In other words, if the U.S. dollar strengthens, the relative value of the Singapore dollar could decrease. This means that the Singapore dollar's exchange rate against the U.S. dollar would rise, indicating that you need more Singapore dollars to buy the same amount of U.S. dollars. So, for you, my savvy investors, this is another important factor to keep in mind. The actions of the Federal Reserve can indirectly impact the value of the Singapore dollar, and thus, your investments. Therefore, staying informed about the Fed's policies is just as important as keeping an eye on the Monetary Authority of Singapore's actions. In conclusion, the world of finance is interconnected, and the actions of major players like the Federal Reserve can have ripple effects across the globe. As investors, it's crucial to understand these dynamics and adapt your strategies accordingly. Remember, knowledge is power in the world of investing. So, stay informed, stay adaptable, and most importantly, stay savvy. So, there you have it, investing iguanas. The Singapore dollar's future is a bit uncertain, but that's what makes the world of finance so exciting. It's all about staying on your toes, keeping an eye on the data, and being ready to adapt your strategies when the time comes. Well, there you have it, Investing Iguanas, the inside scoop on what the MAS isn't telling you about the Singapore dollar. We've explored the potential impact of policy changes, inflation trends, and global economic forces on our beloved currency. But remember, knowledge is power. Armed with these insights, you can make smarter investment decisions and navigate the ever-changing financial landscape like a pro. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to the Investing Iguana channel for more juicy financial tips and analysis. And don't forget to share this video with your friends and fellow investors, they'll thank you later. As always, keep on investing wisely, and I'll see you in the next video. Iggy out.